Hi everyone, welcome to another day in the 28-day challenge. My name is Caroline Park and I'm one of the yoga instructors here at Vinyasa Spirit and Wellness. And today I'm going to be taking you through a guided seated meditation for the first bit of the practice, and then we'll move into our Hatha Vinyasa flows. So we're going to get started in a comfortable seated position on the mat. So you can take cross-legged, a seated position. You can be on your shins if that's more comfortable, but just meeting there on your mat. Starting to take notice of your breath at the beginning of this practice. Noticing the quality of the breath. Noticing whether your shoulders are tight, your muscles are tight. And slowly rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Deepening your inhales and your exhales. Emptying the mind completely. The focus of this meditative practice here is going to be quieting the mind. Throughout our day, we have so many thoughts, so many things that are running through our minds, replaying through our minds. And I invite you to let those thoughts go. And if they ever surface during the practice, just taking acknowledgement of those thoughts and gently releasing them, letting them pass without judgment. I invite you to take Yoni Mudra here. So creating a diamond shape with the fingers, thumbs touch, index fingers touch, and the other fingers are bent, knuckles touching. Some people like to interlace those other fingers. You could do so, whatever is most comfortable for you. Yoni Mudra assists in silencing the mind, quieting the mind, helping you feel more at ease, more grounded. Taking notice back onto the breath. Inhaling through the nose all the way to the top. And exhale, letting all those thoughts go. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. And as you quiet the mind, I want you to imagine yourself in the stillness of nature. Nothing to do, nothing to think about. Just sitting in the middle of the forest, focusing only on your breath. Softening the muscles of the body as you strengthen the mind, ridding the mind of any thoughts that are lingering. I invite you throughout this practice to return to Yoni Mudra. If you ever feel that you need a bit more silencing of the mind, thoughts crop up, just returning here to this pose, regardless of what we're doing. And even in your everyday lives, if you need a minute of silence to quiet down the mind, quiet down the brain, knowing that this posture is always here for you. Couple more deep inhales and exhales together. Inhale through the nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Assuming your natural breath. On the next inhale, letting go of Yoni Mudra, bringing hands to heart center, bowing the head. As we begin this practice, thanking yourself for showing up to the mat and joining me in this beginning meditation. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, palms touch. And exhale, left hand drops to right knee, right fingertips reach behind you as you gaze past the right shoulders. Inhale deep into that twist, noticing the sensations in the ribcage, relaxing the body, the shoulders. As you take another deep breath in and out. Inhale, arms reach back up, palms touch. And exhale, right hand on left knee, left fingertips reach behind you. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And exhale, letting it go. Relaxing those shoulders. Inhale. And exhale, sinking deeper into that twist. And inhaling back to center, we're going to come on knees facing long into the mat. We're going to step the left toes out towards the side, so the edge of the foot is in line with the back edge of the mat. We're going to stay here for one breath, rolling the shoulders back, heart is up towards the sky. And inhale, reaching right fingertips over towards, as if you're trying to touch that left foot, almost like an extension of your arm. You're growing roots from the right fingertips towards that left toe. And on the next exhale, dropping right palm, left fingertips reach overhead. And gate pose sequence like this. Inhale, exhale, and inhale back out. You can also sweep the left arm in front if that feels better. Inhale, exhale, with your breath, your movement. And one more here. Gate pose. And inhale, coming back to center, switching sides. Breathing here. And on the next exhale, coming into left fingertips reaching towards the right toes. And inhale out, dropping that left hand down, right fingertips reach up overhead. Continuing to breathe, matching movement with breath. And exhale, opening that left side body. Inhale, opening that right side. Last one here. On the exhale. And inhale, coming back up to center. We're going to meet again on our knees. If you ever need to fold the mat forward, if you have bony knees or you just have any knee issues, you can always do so. Bringing hands to the low back. Tucking the navel in, strengthening the core so you don't put too much weight into the low back. Squeezing elbows together, heart is up towards the sky. Activating that core navel into spine. And inhale, leaning back in half camel pose. Toes are tucked or untucked. And inhale back to center, dropping onto your palms in tabletop position. Inhale, dip the belly, dip the chest, gazing forward. And exhale, rolling out the spine, shoulder blades separate. Inhale, dip the belly, dip the chest. And exhale, cat, rounding out that spine. One more here. Inhale to dip. Dip belly to chest, gazing forward, chest through those arms. And exhale, curling that tailbone under. Next inhale, coming back to neutral spine, stepping the palms forward, tucking the toes under if they're not already, and lifting the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Pedaling out the heels here, opening up the backs of those legs, the calf muscles, the hamstrings, and finding your upside down V. Moving from mobility to stillness whenever you can. Heels do not have to touch all the way, and you can keep a slight bend in those knees. You're aiming for a long straight line from the crown of the head to the tops of the sit bones. Back is straight. One more deep breath here. And exhale, side up through the mouth. Inhale, rolling onto the balls of the feet, bending the knees. Step, jump, or hop your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, folding forward, noticing how the hamstrings and the calves feel in this forward fold. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. And exhale, retracing those fingers, diving down forward, palms to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, planting the palms, stepping or jumping your feet to plank, knees up or down, coming through your first vinyasa, elbows to 90 degrees. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. One deep breath here in this down dog. And on the next exhale, rolling onto the balls of the feet, bending the knees, stepping or jumping your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, palms touch. And exhale, hands to heart center, down by the side. One more round here. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms reach up, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the palms, stepping or jumping the feet back to plank, and coming through your chaturanga. Exhale, inhale, arms lengthen, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here in your down dog. You can pedal at the feet, or you can take a still downward facing dog. Noticing the body warming up here. One more breath. On the next inhale, rolling onto the balls of the feet, bending the knees, stepping or hopping your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Another one of those. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. On the next inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale as you sweep the arms up by the sides into your Utkatasana chair, making sure you shift the hips back, curl the tailbone under. Arms can be outstretched in front of you if it's uncomfortable for the shoulders to keep it up here. Wherever you are, making sure you can peer down, see all 10 toes. This reminds you you're leaning back sufficiently enough rather than leaning forward. So breathing here. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And we're gonna come back into that chair. And exhale as you sweep the arms up into your chair, making sure, again, you can see all 10 toes. We're gonna come onto our tippy toes here. So if you shake, that's okay. We're just gonna try to balance here on our tippy toes. And on the inhale, we're gonna come up, placing the heels back down, leaning forward, using that core strength. And inhale, sweeping up, back into that chair on the tippy toes, coming through that sequence. And exhale, leaning back, using that back strength, core strength. Inhale on tippy toes, Utkatasana. And exhale, back, heels down. Inhale. And exhale, back. One more here. Inhale. And exhale, heels down. Inhale as you lift that left back leg up into your warrior three, balancing on that right foot. Your arms can be an airplane or at heart center, wherever you'd like. And on the next exhale, stepping that left foot back, into high lunge, finding your balance. Wherever you are, taking notice of any thoughts that might have cropped up and letting them pass. Rolling the shoulders down the back, or you can have your hands in heart center in prayer. You can take that yoni mudra once again, if you'd like. Wherever you are, holding here for one more breath. And exhale, warrior two. Gazing past the right fingertips, making sure that right knee is stacked over that right ankle. And exhale, straightening out that front foot. You can bring the back toes a little closer if you feel. Reaching forward with that right hand, palm facing up. And exhale, stacking those shoulders, Trikonasana. Deep breath here. And on the next exhale, bringing fingertips down by the feet, stepping that right foot back and coming through your flow. Knees up or down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. From your down dog, we're going to take 2 breaths here. On the next inhale, rolling onto the balls of the feet, bending the knees, stepping or jumping your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, fold. Once again, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, coming into your chair pose, coming onto the toes, similar to before, making sure you can shift the hips back and see all 10 toes. And exhale, heels down, arms back, palms face down, using the back strength and core, shifting more weight into the toes. And inhale back onto tippy toes in your Utkatasana chair pose. And exhale, heels down, arms back, back and core activated. Inhale, chair on tippy toes. And exhale, arms reach back. And one more here with your breath. Inhale, chair on tippy toes. And exhale, dropping those heels, shifting weight into that left foot, lifting the back right leg into warrior three. You're parallel with the mat. You can take a different arm variation here. Airplane arms, prayer. Breathing here. One more breath. And exhale, slowly bending into that left knee, coming into a high lunge as you drop the back foot. Arms reach up overhead. Adjust the stance if needed. Shoulders down the back in your high lunge. Rolling shoulders away from the ears, or you can bring your hands into that yoni mudra. Emptying the mind, quieting the thoughts. Navel to spine. Notice the breath. On the next exhale, rolling out into warrior two. Back edge of the foot is lined up with the back edge of the mat. Shoulders are down, gaze is forward. Right knee stacked over right ankle, sorry, left knee stacked over left ankle. On the next exhale, straightening out that left knee, reaching forward with that palm. And exhale, stacking those shoulders. You can adjust the stance here if that feels better. And just breathing here. On the next exhale, bringing Fingertips on opposite sides of that front foot and stepping back into your plank, coming through your vinyasa, knees up or down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. On the next inhale, rolling onto the balls of the feet, bending the knees, stepping or hopping your way onto your sit bones, reaching toes out in front of you. We're gonna inhale, arms reach up overhead, and exhale, reaching forward in your seated forward fold Dandasana. Knees can be bent. Back does not have to be straight, just letting go here at the end of your practice. Bringing opening into those hamstrings as you slowly try and reach the backs of the knees onto the mat. They don't have to be fully extended. And just breathing here in this forward fold. On the next inhale, coming back up to center, back is straight. We're gonna slowly bend one knee and then the other. We're gonna take hero pose. If you wanna do half hero, I'll let you know when to switch sides, because taking full hero, you would have to bend both knees, bringing the heels by the glutes. So both knees are bent. And this is not easy for everyone. It's not good for everyone's knees. So listening to your body. Again, you can take the half version, starting on either the left or the right. I'll let you know when to switch, but if you're taking the full, slowly lowering back onto the forearms. So elbows are down behind you. You could stay here, trying to keep the knees together as much as possible. They tend to try to splay out, and try to keep the shins on the mat. If they start to lift off, that means you need to move up a bit, okay? So wherever you are, breathing here in your hero. If you have the space in the hams or in the quads, you can come all the way down onto your back. Breathing here for 4 breaths. If you're on the one side, taking a half variation, taking this moment to switch sides. Coming back down onto hands, arms, or back. 2 more breaths here. And on the next inhale, coming back up if you're on your back, onto forearms, then onto hands. And unraveling here, lifting the glutes up. You can, in whatever way, coming back onto your back, we're gonna take a happy baby. So bending the knees in, reaching for the outside edges of the feet, rolling that sacrum back down onto the mat. You can stay here still, or you can give your low back a nice little massage, rocking from side to side. If there's any other poses that you need to finish off your practice, please take them. Otherwise, we're going to stay on our backs and assume our final resting pose in shavasana. Closing the eyes. Letting go of control of the breath that we've had throughout this practice. Noticing how the body feels, how the mind feels. And quieting the mind again as you take this final resting position in shavasana. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Rolling them down the mat. Letting the feet splay out. Letting go of all the muscles in the body. Letting go of any tension in the face. in between the brows, letting the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. If you're comfortable here, you can stay here in your shavasana for however long you need. But I'm going to close off right now. So if you'd like to join me, taking deeper inhales and exhales, and bringing movement back into the fingertips, the toes, starting to roll out those wrists, roll out those ankles. Inhaling, arms reach up overhead, zipping up the toes and the legs. And exhale, letting it go. Rolling onto one side into a fetal position and coming up to seated position. Eyes can remain closed or you can maintain a soft gaze. So breathing here, hands to heart center, back into Yoni Mudra where we started our practice and continued it. So making that diamond shape again, knuckles are touching otherwise, or interlaced. Quieting the mind once more, bowing the head, back in prayer. Thank you all for joining me today in this practice, thanking yourselves and your bodies for carrying you through this practice. Thanking yourself for bringing yourself to the mat today, because we always know it's not always easy to dedicate some space and time for your own body, your own mind. And granting us peace today, tomorrow, for the rest of our days. We can always come back to our own practice to make sure that we continue to quiet the mind in times of stress and in times of a lot of mind chatter, which is very common in this day and age. So bowing the heads, I wish you love, peace, and inner peace throughout your days. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope that was a very peaceful practice for you. I hope that you can always come back to your Yoni Mudra, back to your yogic practice if you need any extra stillness and peace in your life. Namaste.